Hey volleyball fans, welcome back to the NVA miniseries, Quest for the Cup. I'm Nick, and we're here to solve those Monday blues with a little bit of black and gold. That's right, this week we're diving in with the Las Vegas Ramblers and their owner, Vinny Rodriguez. Check it out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by the head honcho of the Bandits in black and gold, Mr. Vinny Rodriguez, the owner for the Las Vegas Ramblers. Vinny, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, so, when you hear about all these teams, it's obvious. You get the SoCal Stunners, LA Blaze, these teams and these volleyball hubs. You created this team out in Las Vegas with the Ramblers. It's not just a desert, but I mean, as far as I know, that's a volleyball desert. What led you to make the team out there?
Yeah, so, it's great because volleyball in Las Vegas is growing. And I think we, as Las Vegas Ramblers team and organization, can kind of be a testament to that. And hopefully we can use the growth in the sport of volleyball in Las Vegas and really build our organization up. Personally, I'm from Vegas. That's where I grew up. That's where I played my high school volleyball. And it was, if you think it's a desert now, you should have seen it back in my years in high school. It was pretty barren. There was one club that you could play for. It was a tough place to play for volleyball. And like I said, in one of the articles that was written about our team, the Rambler is part of being a Las Vegas volleyball player. If you want to make it to the next level, you got to ramble. You got to move on. And hopefully we embody that with our organization.
Absolutely. And now I'm curious. So when you created that team and you had your initial tryouts and the team was founded about 2 years ago, did you decide that is the entire team out in Vegas, or you've had, as I understand it, there's part of the teams in Southern California as well? What's the team structure like, and what led you to that structure?
Yeah, so I kind of always knew that Southern California was going to be an integral part of our team, just because that's where I have lived for the past decade. And I know that there are limitations when it comes to high-level volleyball in Las Vegas. So when I had my tryout, I wanted to get as many quality players as I could from that tryout, and I think I did. We definitely picked up some great players from that tryout, but it wasn't enough. If we want to compete with these big dogs like these OC Stunners, Utah Stingers, you listed them off, we really got to bring some firepower. And I think Southern California has always kind of had that edge with just developing high-level players. And with me being here, it's a natural thing to have, half of our team here, half of our team there. Obviously, it's a little bit of a struggle at times. It's a little bit of a limitation, and you have to grow with that. But I've been pretty satisfied with how it's worked out so far.
And when you're putting that team together, would you say, knowing that, as you called it, kind of a limitation at times, would you say that affects the players that you recruit or the guys that you're bringing on?
I don't think so. Most of the conversations I have with guys with recruiting is, hey, do you want to play? And most guys are just fired up. They're like, yeah, I want to be a part of this thing. Especially if you talk to younger guys that are just out of college, that are looking to maybe go overseas and try their luck over there. It's a natural progression to kind of play with the NBA and play with us and get some more footage, get some more high-level volleyball. To me, it's a no-brainer. And in our recruitment, it's been pretty easy with guys and saying, yeah, let's do this thing. Let's get going. So I've been pretty fired up about that.
Definitely, it makes sense from the outside, but hearing it from the inside also kind of helps complete that picture. Now, you guys took third place in November, just behind this after a tough loss from the Stingers, and then Stunners placed ahead of you as well. What you mentioned a little bit about the recruitment, things like that. So what was your off season like coming into the 2021 season? I know that the Ramblers had no tryout, unlike most teams in the league. So, you kind of mentioned recruitment, things like that. What was the off season like?
Yeah, I think our core roster is there. I like a lot of our guys. I like the guys that we picked up initially, both on the Vegas and the SoCal side. Obviously, we lost a great player in Gianluca Grasso. He's starting up the team in Texas with the Tyrants now, and kudos to him. I'm stoked for him. But so there are a few pieces that we definitely needed to fill. And just a sense of just having guys in the gym, at least on the SoCal side, to be able to run practices and do that, because as we know, our big baller, Ryan Mather, who won Best Opposite at the November tournament, he lives in Colorado. So we want to have guys that are more local, that are able to train, and then to be able to keep those guys as well. So that's been a key for us, is to get high-level guys that are bought in, that want to play, and that are able to train consistently. And I think that was a huge part of our success in November, is we had a lot of guys in the gym consistently that were training together, and then we added a couple pieces here and there. And luckily, the Vegas side and the SoCal side came together so seamlessly, and I couldn't have been happier about that.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's kind of just when you've got that, he likes to call it Ballerado. When you got,
right.
Ryan Mather out there holding it down, you got big names in the middle like Antoine Aguillard.
Exactly.
It's just finding a couple pieces to surround them. And anyone that watched the Ramblers play, I mean, it was damn near perfect passing at all times. You guys were in system and ready to take big swings. So losing Grosso, obviously a hit to the roster, but someone that you can strive to replace during that offseason.
Right.
Now, I've heard some ramblings about some new potential sponsors and things like that for you guys in the offseason. What's that forefront look like?
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's been another key for us in the offseason is how do we grow this thing? Obviously, we had a good turnout in November. We medaled, which was a huge accomplishment for us. But then it was like, okay, what's the next step? How do we continue to grow this organization? And I think sponsors was the obvious thing. If we can get some funding, takes a lot of pressure off of us. We're able to maybe go recruit some more players as well. There's a lot of things that you can do when you get sponsorships. So that's been a huge area of focus for us. And, we're actually planning an event, kind of a media day coming up here in the next week. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. We're calling it a Black and Gold weekend, where we're going to have some inter-squad scrimmage stuff going on. We're going to do some media stuff for our sponsors that we're bringing in, as well as for some potential sponsors. So it's going to be a huge day for us, and we're really looking forward to promoting our organization and getting that ththing going.
That's awesome. It's great to hear, teams taking that next step to grow their organization outside of the league structure. And especially as an owner that's got half his team in Vegas and half his team in SoCal, I can imagine the guys appreciate the opportunity to come together, play together a little bit, see each other when it's not just at events.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. I mean, getting these guys together at any time is a great thing, especially for something like this. It's awesome. I'm fired up.
Hey, I think you should be, as we saw in November. A lot of promise for that team. Thank you so much for your time, Vinny. I appreciate getting to know a little bit more about the Ramblers and what we can expect in that 2021 season. Last thing, how can people find out a little bit more about the team? How can they track the ongoings and catch up with the off-season goodies?
Yeah, check our Instagram. We're constantly posting. We're hoping to really ramp that up with some of our key players. Obviously, with this Quest for the Cup weekend, we're going to highlight those Antoine Aguillards and the Ryan Mathers and so on and so forth, those big dogs for us. And then, so follow our Instagram and our website as well, ramblers.nvausa.com. That's a mouthful. Instagram and website are probably the two best ways to kind of follow along with what we're doing. And we're hoping to really utilize the NVA platform for Instagram as well throughout this Black and Gold weekend. So it should be a real blowout. We're looking forward to it. Make sure to stay tuned.
Hey,
March 20th. March 20th.
So that's going to be the following Saturday from the release of this episode. Stay tuned. And if you don't catch any of that, make sure to catch these guys on the court as they take the court in April of 2021 with that next season just around the corner. Vinny, thank you once again, and we'll see you soon.
Ramble on, baby.
Thanks so much, Vinny. It's great to hear what we can expect from the boys in Black and Gold in the upcoming 2021 season. It's just around the corner. For all of our fans, be sure to follow the NVA and the Las Vegas Ramblers on Instagram and YouTube, and tune in next week, March 22nd at noon, as we light the screen on fire with LA Blaze. We'll see you then.